Los Angeles, a sprawling metropolis celebrated for its sunshine and glamour, lives with a constant threat: wildfires. These fires are not just seasonal occurrences, but a persistent menace that looms over the city year-round. These aren't mere brush fires, but raging infernos capable of consuming entire neighborhoods, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The intensity and speed at which these fires spread can be terrifying, often catching residents off guard. Understanding wildfires in Los Angeles is not just about grasping a scientific phenomenon, but about comprehending a force that has shaped and continues to shape the city's very existence. The fires are a testament to nature's raw power and unpredictability. The city's relationship with wildfires is complex, a mix of awe at nature's power and dread at its potential for destruction. Residents live in a state of constant vigilance, always aware that the next blaze could be just around the corner. This essay delves into the heart of this relationship, exploring the history, causes, and profound impacts of wildfires on the City of Angels. From the earliest recorded fires to the most recent infernos, each has left an indelible mark on the city. We'll journey through scorched landscapes and examine the economic, environmental, and social scars left behind. The aftermath of these fires is often as devastating as the fires themselves, leaving communities to rebuild from the ashes. Finally, we'll turn to the critical questions of prevention, management, and the future of Los Angeles in a world increasingly defined by a changing climate. How can the city adapt and protect itself from an ever-growing threat? Wildfires are not a recent phenomenon in Southern California. They are, in fact, as old as the region itself, woven into the very fabric of its ecosystem. For millennia, wildfires have periodically swept through the area, fueled by dry chaparral, strong winds, and abundant sunshine. Native American tribes understood this natural rhythm, incorporating controlled burns into their land management practices. The arrival of European settlers, however, brought about significant changes. Large-scale agriculture, urbanization, and fire suppression policies disrupted the natural fire cycle. As a result, the amount of flammable vegetation increased, setting the stage for more frequent and intense wildfires. The history of Los Angeles is thus intricately linked to the history of wildfires, a relationship marked by both coexistence and conflict. While natural factors play a significant role in the ignition of wildfires, human actions have increasingly tipped the scales. Lightning strikes, for example, are a natural source of ignition, particularly in the dry months. However, nearly 85% of wildfires in California are sparked by human activities, often through carelessness or negligence. These human-caused fires can be accidental, ignited by unattended campfires, malfunctioning equipment, or even discarded cigarettes. Others are deliberately set, highlighting a darker side of human behavior. But regardless of the source, the underlying factors remain the same: a combination of dry vegetation, low humidity, and strong winds known as Santa Anas, which can quickly transform a small spark into a raging inferno. Mapping the Inferno fire-prone zones and the growing threat. Los Angeles, with its unique topography and Mediterranean climate, is particularly vulnerable to wildfires. The combination of dry summers and wet winters creates an environment where vegetation can grow rapidly, only to dry out and become highly flammable during the hot months. The city's proximity to vast areas of wildland-urban interface creates a dangerous nexus where homes and nature collide. This interface is a critical zone where the risk of fire spreading from wildlands to residential areas is significantly heightened. These areas, characterized by dense vegetation and steep canyons, act as conduits for fire, allowing it to spread rapidly into residential neighborhoods. The rugged terrain makes it difficult for firefighters to access and control the flames, exacerbating the threat. Certain areas within Los Angeles County, such as the San Fernando Valley, the Santa Monica Mountains, and the foothills of the Angeles National Forest, are considered high-risk zones. These regions are not only prone to frequent wildfires, but also face challenges in evacuation and emergency response due to their geography. These areas experience a higher frequency of wildfires and suffer the most significant damage. The aftermath of these fires leaves communities devastated, with homes destroyed and landscapes scarred. As the city continues to expand into these fire-prone areas, the risk of catastrophic wildfires only intensifies, creating a complex challenge for urban planners and firefighters alike. Balancing development with safety measures is crucial to mitigate the growing threat of wildfires. The environmental price tag, from scorched earth to toxic air. The story of wildfires is not just about the flames that consume the land, but also about the lasting scars they leave behind. The immediate aftermath of a wildfire is a scene of utter devastation. The landscape is transformed into a barren wasteland, with homes reduced to ashes and communities left in ruins. Charred trees, blackened hillsides, and the acrid smell of smoke paint a grim picture. The once vibrant ecosystem is now a shadow of its former self, struggling to recover. Yet the environmental impact of wildfires extends far beyond the immediate damage to vegetation and wildlife. The destruction is not just on the surface, it penetrates deep into the soil and water systems. Wildfires release massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change and perpetuating the cycle of extreme weather events. The smoke and ash can travel thousands of miles, affecting air quality far from the fire's origin. The loss of vegetation leads to soil erosion, mudslides, and debris flows, impacting water quality and aquatic ecosystems. Rivers and streams become choked with sediment, harming fish and other wildlife. Wildlife populations are decimated, losing their habitats and food sources. The recovery of these populations can take years, if not decades, and some species may never fully return. Perhaps most concerning is the impact on air quality. The smoke from wildfires contains a mix of harmful pollutants that can linger in the air for days or even weeks. Wildfires release a toxic cocktail of pollutants, including particulate matter and ozone, leading to respiratory problems, cardiovascular issues, and other health complications. The health impacts can be severe, especially for vulnerable populations such as children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions. Our economic fallout, counting the costs of wildfires. The economic toll of wildfires is as staggering as their environmental impact. The cost of fighting these infernos, including deploying firefighters, aircraft, and resources, runs into billions of dollars annually. Then there's the cost of property damage, often exceeding insurance coverage and leaving homeowners financially devastated. Businesses, too, suffer from closures, lost productivity, and supply chain disruptions. Tourism, a vital part of the Los Angeles economy, takes a hit as visitors stay away, fearing smoke-filled skies and hazardous conditions. The economic impact of wildfires ripples through various sectors, leaving a lasting impact on the region's financial well-being.